of Quantoshi and the founder. Yeah, I'm based in Norway. The company is established in the UAE. Elias, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, nice to be here. Elias Madavi here, Italian, traveling, going to all the crypto conferences, and I'm head of partnerships at Quantoshi.
Perfect. And Michelle, I'm not sure if you're on stream. I think we might have cut off the beginning with some of the members. So I'll just give a quick intro to everybody joining on YouTube. So tonight's live stream is all about the trading algorithm, the bot, as some people like to call it, on BloFin. So we are going to explain who the founders are, what their background is in trading, how they come to build this bot, and what we can expect from the bot going forward, or the algorithm, whatever you want to call it. Now it's on BloFin. There's a few tutorials and setup guide in CC Pro. But if you need any more information, you can ask questions on the stream. We've got a few people on already, but I'll let the guys from Quantoshi introduce yourself right now.
Right. So introduce us again. Yes, I'm Sig. I'm based in Norway. I'm the CEO of Quantoshi, yeah, I also developed our first algorithms that are the basis of what we're distributing together with CC on BloFin now. So I'd be very happy to explain more about how that works and how that came about.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you all to be here today. So I'm Elias Malavi, based in Italy, and I'm head of partnerships at Quantoshi.
Nice. And Michelle?
I kind of didn't know that I was gonna be saying anything, and I have my kids all around here, so this is not very like comfortable. So sorry, but yeah, I must mute now before help break.
Yeah, so the plan was that me and Elias is doing the presentation, but Michelle is here listening in as she's like head of our brand. So yeah.
No worries, not a problem at all. Okay, I'll let you guys talk us through how you met, how you got into trading, what's your background, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Yes, okay. I can start. So I've been in the Bitcoin space since 2015. Bought my first Bitcoin back then and started trading and learning how to trade in 2016. So took a bit of a time before I got it to work, but I became fairly good at it and had success for several years doing manual trading. Yeah, eventually I ended up becoming overconfident, breaking my own rules, and did really bad during 2021. So I think trading is a very tough game, and even if you manage to become successful, you can still end up losing. So from 2022 and onwards, I've only been automating trades. That's what brought me into algo trading. I went back and looked at all my past mistakes, created several algorithms that was following my systems, and I've been forward testing them since and tweaking them. That's the basis of what we're distributing today. So it's actually based on 9 years of track record and 3 years of forward testing, and mainly trading BTC and BTC derivatives.
Nice. So you effectively learned from all your mistakes and plugged it into a computer program to try and why was that? Talk us through why you were making those mistakes, because I think it's a common theme that maybe when Bitcoin goes from 85K to 100K, people think they're invincible. People think they can trade. They're a trader now because they make a bit of money. Is that kind of what happened, or?
Yeah, I think so. Especially during in the 2017 run, I was actually pretty good at not becoming that overconfident. Or at least I went out with like insane gains from that bull run. But in 2021, I became definitely overconfident, and I started revenge trading, and yeah, definitely broke my own rules, especially money management rules. Not so much the trading system rules, but the money management rules, and that's you can have a really, really good trading system, but if you don't manage the position size and the money management, you will still end up as a loser, which I did in 2021.
Yeah, of course. It's so easy. I think, especially in crypto, I think crypto actually makes it too easy for people to think they're good at trading, or because the volatility is so extreme. And people break the rules all the time. They say, oh, it's only this one trade. You know, they remove stop losses, or they don't take profit at the TP levels. We see it all the time. We've been in crypto a while. We see that all the time. So having something programmable makes that much easier. What about you, Elias? How did you get into trading? What's your background?
Yeah, so I've been working most of my life into IT strategy, innovation, BD, partnership, as well. A lot of crypto startups during the last 5-6 years. I met Sig by chance, and we clicked, and from there we had a really cool journey, as well, like working with you guys. And yeah, so my role today within Quantoshi is like going to different events, and one side is like meeting other influencers like you, that are focused a lot on trading, and as well meeting family offices or institutions that are more like, let's say, looking as well into crypto trading, and they want some type of, let's say, bespoke service. So we help as well those type of people. And one thing I wanted to add is like, even when they say that the market is like a bull market or bear market, like within, let's say, if that trend, there is so much like behaviors that you cannot just go bullish fully in. Like most of the market anyways is like 2/3 of it is sideways, and that's when like people trade less, we saw. So it's important to know that depending on how the market conditions are, there are different strategies that are maximizing those time and phases within the market. And that's why we codified this, and we are able to understand that quite well, to know how to act depending on the market, rather than thinking that there is one algo that will solve all the solutions. You need to know which algo strategies will be applied at the right moment. That's the most important part.
Yeah, of course. And I think, like, the title of the stream is $500 per week. Some people think that's crazy. If they've tried trading, they'll have massive swings up the way, but also massive swings down the way. I think having that programmable feature, just constant passive income, is really attractive, especially in crypto. So, do you want to give us a bit of a brief understanding of how it works, how it trades, and probably best practices for some of our members and the people watching that want to get access to Quantoshi?
Yeah, so again, follow up on what Elias was saying there, that most of the time the market is sideways. And that's when you have the most steady returns actually with our system. Even though it has drawdowns, but it never takes the loss because it stays in the position and wait for the price to bounce, maybe 50% of the drop, and then we can still sell in profit. So we are able to capitalize really well during those sideways markets, which is the only thing you have seen with the current profile on CC. I think it's up 20% while the market was down quite a bit. It was a very, very challenging market. So it has like an annualized expected return around 100% during sideways market, which is 2/3 of the time is sideways according to our definition of a typical market, even a bull market like we have now. So that's where you have the steady gains of, let's say, 10% per month. During very big uptrends, you can have way more profit for some weeks. It's really important to be have allocated during those spikes, of course. And then there will be some months where we might even be at a loss. But I would say 10 out of 12 months we should have profits. And then when the market flips from bull to bear, it might be taking a loss there. But that is something we are also looking into. But even if you see a loss in that month, then you should still be happy. $500 per week in average. That's for a year, a normal year, and it's based on a deposit of 20K. So you get, then you can calculate the returns. It's pretty nice. It's more than 100% per year, but you only get it if you're in there for a year and you get one of those big upticks, and you stay there while it's sideways. So it's kind of like a passive income set and forget thing, and allocate for a year. So I would say best practice is definitely allocate what you think you can put on the side for a year, and don't like test with a small amount and then you double it and then you go in with more, because that's exactly the wrong thing. But that is typical what people do.
Yeah, so there's a few things to pick up on there. So just for everybody listening, everybody watching, if you're not in CC Pro, you might not know, but we have actually got $20,000 in the algorithm right now, and our goal is to achieve that $500 per week. 10% a month in crypto sometimes can get sneered at because people are like, oh, I bought this coin and it went up 50% in a day. But those are so rare that what you're doing is, over the long term, consistently achieving those results. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. If I can add something here, like copy trading as a notion in the stock and the crypto market is not something new. But the thing is, if you, let's say, if you are not showing how those strategies work, and the incentive of those that create those copy trading profiles is, let's say, to go top of the leaderboard super fast, they become super impulsive. So you see these profiles that did like 1,000% in a week, and then the day after they get burned. So for us, we have been trading our own money first, and then we evolved out of it. So I think that's one of the main important parts, is that the max drawdown expected and the ROI expected, they have to have a really healthy proportion, while as well it's like money that you can place and wait. So if you have like a fast black swan event of a change of a market, you have that 1 month or two to get back up. And so this is like our own way as well to act within the market, and the way we're training our money is with the same algo. I think like being able to understand those strategies is core.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think we've done copy trading before. Sometimes the exchanges don't execute orders, or we've followed traders that have amazing results, but it's a short time. I think what you said was key. Set and forget. You don't have to worry about, is today a good day? Is today, just let it run. And every week you can check it. Every month you check the returns. I think that's the key.
Yeah. Like to just like being able to know that it's acting now, it's acting, right? So and as well something else, when we get those big spikes like we had last year between October to December on the Trump election, during that time we made like 350%. So those big spikes are really great for ROI. So I think we are kind of in a moment, and she can tell a little bit more about the indicators that the pot is a bit brewing and is getting ready for that. That's how we feel. So we have experienced the sideways market now, and hopefully by end of May we're gonna see something like that again. That's my
I mean
my
we're all
prediction.
hoping so.
We cannot promise anything, obviously.
Yeah,
but the
But
price.
I think what you said is key anyway. 10% returns a month. Most index funds achieve that in a year. If you bought the S&P 500 a year ago, you would only have achieved 6%.
Yeah.
But you're doing more than that.
So if I could choose, I would choose a sideways market constantly, because then I could basically promise you these decent returns. But like the extreme volatility is when you sometimes you make big gains and sometimes you make like fairly big losses as well. But sideways is a very controllable market for our system, so we can capture make a gain almost every month.
Yeah, definitely. So do you want to talk us through how it works, how you created it, and when it kind of thrives? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I can tell you it's based on two main components. So we have one trend indicator that is only used by us, that's developed by me based on analyzing all my past trades. And it's, I would say it's very good at catching breakouts fairly early, but avoiding most of the fake outs. So there are still some fake outs, but it's avoiding a lot of them based on my past, like a lot of logic that I gathered over the years. So when it believes it's a trend, according to backtesting, when I made it, it had like 80% correct decisions based on backtesting up to 2021. But even forward testing since then is 75% correct. So I think that's very good. It's good at identifying the trend. So it's either up, sideways, or down. Now it says that we are sideways, and while we are sideways, we are applying a totally different trading system. Then we are applying different variations of grid bots that we have been forward testing since 2022. So it's basically DCAing, but it's not stupid DCAing. It's kind of turn off buying every now and then, and it let the price run a little bit more every now and then. So it's proprietary grid bots, and it has like different number of buy steps depending on market conditions and where the price are. So it's a very, very smart grid bot that kind of like, let's call it an adjustable grid bot that adjusts a bit to where in the range it is. And yeah, that's
Nice.
the high level overview, I would say.
Do you have a screen that you could share us some results, show us some facts, some numbers? Are you able to do that?
Can you do that, Elias?
I think I'm from my phone. Maybe we can share the BloFin profile and voice over what happened during that.
How do we do that? Okay, we click on percent. Okay, now I see. Okay, so I can bring it up and then share it once I have the correct one here.
Yeah, sure.
Because it kind of explains fairly well how it works, or how it worked so far during this sideways market.
And I think during the sideways, most people are sitting on their hands, scared to DCA into the market if there's extreme fear.
Yeah.
And they don't really know what they should be buying. So if they can profit while the market's sideways, like you say, we spend 75%, 80% of the time chopping sideways. That everybody thinks crypto's up only. It's not. So it's another passive income for people that want to get exposure to crypto. They want to experience the upside, but of course, there is a lot of danger of trying to trade on your own. I'll add the screen, and hopefully people can see that.
Let me know when people
see what you can see.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Yeah, so here you can see that we launched this profile in late February, and then actually it started off really, really, really bad here. So we were down like 30%, but if you look, it managed to recover, and we are now up 18%. The reason why I had this big drop in the beginning is that it actually believed that it was like a temporary shorting, so it took a loss that it would normally not take. It took the loss here, and as you can see, it didn't take any of these other losses because it believed that it's actually sideways. It's not going down, and it was correct. So this is from here is a very typical graph for how the algorithm works. It goes up to the right, but during price drops, it will stay in losses. Be patient and wait for bounces. So
so this graph shows you the position at end of day, not close positions.
Yeah,
so,
end of day. So unrealized losses. So
yeah, so during just to confirm, because there's going to be a lot of people that are either new to crypto or maybe never followed an algorithm or a bot before. At no point did these or the algorithm actually take these losses, this 30% loss. What you're saying is if you had 10 grand in the account at the very, very start of the chart, at one point you'd be down 30%, but you would never actually realize the loss. You would still have the cash in your account, but you'd be down 30% on your initial balance. But eventually, if you just stay patient, zoom out, ignore it, then you eventually end up in profit. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, but actually it's a little bit wrong, since here it took the loss. That's why you see it didn't bounce from this one. But all these other times it stayed in the position.
Yeah, so it continued, and then
from here it's expected behavior. So from minus 16 to plus 18, this is a normal thing. This here was actually, it believed that we should short the market, so it took the loss there. It's a very, very rare thing that only happens when the market goes to bear market. But yeah, it did it here as well. I think it never happened before, actually.
Perfect. And can you just scroll through and talk through the side some of your results? So we could see 7-day ROI, we could see win rate over 70%, which is huge for trading. Yeah, do you want to just talk us through it and then maybe scroll down and show us the profit and loss just for people to see?
Yeah, so I think this maybe the most important here is the analyzed ROI. This was a really, really difficult period, but it's still 100% per year during sideways. I think I would expect more than that, actually, because this one here it's a very atypical thing.
I think sorry, cut you off. Just to jump in, I think what everyone that's watching needs to remember at this point, if you were just holding altcoins or any other crypto, you're going to be down 50, 60% because the market absolutely bled out.
Yeah.
So I think that's the important point, is like you're talking about 100% annualized returns based on a snapshot where the market completely nosedived. Bitcoin went from 109K down to 74K. Yet you're saying during that period, you actually went from whatever the balance, what you were positive returns.
Yeah, so from the worst to here, it's
like a positive delta, like plus 20 against the market that was minus 20. So if you had kept your Ethereum or Bitcoin, let's say the top coins, you still have been let's say deep down, whereas we recouped, and you could have used that money to accumulate more Bitcoin potentially.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you look at if you look at Ethereum today, for example, Ethereum, when did this start? So the first date on this chart was
on the 18th of February.
18th of February. So let's find out. So Ethereum at that point was $2,768. Today it's down over $1,000. So if you had just sat on your spot bags during that period, you're down just on Ethereum $1,000. And we know altcoins got absolutely killed during that period, whereas you're showing positive returns over the exact same period. So brilliant work, and it just shows people that there's an alternative, and it's almost like a hedge against your spot bags, right? Because we're not saying sell all your spot, move into Quantoshi. What we're saying is this is a hedge against the market conditions.
Yeah, and it might even be a hedge against if you're if it's too boring and you start doing trades because you're bored. I mean, this could happen if you're a trader, and here something happens every day, so that at least you can track it and see that you're making some money, and maybe you can stay away from doing stupid trading.
100%. And during this period, we also saw the biggest liquidation event in crypto history, bigger than FTX. We saw everybody get absolutely wiped out of positions. Even some big hedge funds get margin called. There was crazy liquidations across the space. So the fact that this just keeps grinding every single day, I think is a really important aspect to kind of hone in, is that it doesn't hide from a downwards or sideways market. It actually thrives during that time when the rest of your crypto holdings really struggle. So yeah,
Yeah, should I still share the screen or should I take this
Do
away?
you have any longer term results? Maybe on a, if you've been using it for a lot longer, do you have longer term results just to show people what can be achieved over the long term?
I don't think we have that like on some with public profiles with the same algo that we're using now, because the algo that we tweaked it in February because before we started promoting it to retail via copy trading. I had a test group last year of copy traders that follow the profile that I had, which was the same algo but more aggressive position size. I told them to rebalance, take out profits after these big runs up, and add more after drawdowns, but almost no one did it, and it really affects the results. So I think that equity curve doesn't look it's more risky than what we have now. Basically took down the position size, and now it's a set and forget. It was never a set and forget before. It required rebalance, and that's when we had 350% in a few weeks late last year. I think would probably be 150 with this variation of the algo, but still that's outperforming BTC a lot.
No, that makes sense. And to be fair, I think if you're investing in crypto, whether you're risk averse or somebody that likes the risk, I think your goal is always to beat Bitcoin, right? Because if you can't beat Bitcoin, just hold Bitcoin. It's the best asset in the world. The reason you trade or you even buy altcoins is because you want to beat the Bitcoin returns. And what you're saying is that over time, if people just leave it be, they'll outperform Bitcoin, which should be anyone's goal. And even then, you're still outperforming any other asset on the planet because no other asset beats Bitcoin, right? So I think that's a really important aspect. I think people hopefully get a bit of faith from that as well. The fact that you've been doing it for a long term and it's based on actual real life trading, that you've then coded the bot based on years of experience. I think that's a really important aspect.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is important to share too. I mean, our team we are all Bitcoin maxis. So like, if we could, we would love that the industry would be just Bitcoin, honestly, too. But at the same time, it's important that I go to a lot of conferences, like altcoins. They help the market too. They bring a lot of liquidity, they onboard new people. There are a lot of new projects that are entering the market. Like, for example, gaming, for me, I think it's important that they still use blockchain. So, but yeah, having this as a let's say way to hedge and as well to accumulate more Bitcoin, that's my personal preference. I have a part of capital here that I can keep for a year, and when I want to buy a little bit more, and that's a good behavior, a healthy one, I would say.
Do you guys? So we obviously have 20K in the algo. Our goal is to make $500 per week. So anyone listening, obviously that's kind of what we are doing, and you'll be able to follow along with the journey on CC Pro. We'll have it on socials as well. Is there a optimal time? I'm just thinking of questions that we might get from our community. Is there an optimal time when you should top up? Is it when there's no trades? Is that the best time to add to your profile? Or would you just say, if you're just going dollar cost average into it over time? I appreciate most of our members might not have 20K to deposit right away, but they might have 5 and then 5, or they might take profits from another altcoin or something.
Yeah, I would say that the worst time to top up is after like a massive run up in the price, a quick run up. So that's the kind of like the only time you should not buy, but that goes for the BTC, buying BTC as well. Because then the bot would be in a very successful trade, and it will try to stay in that trade for as long as possible until it drops, until it say, okay, this is clearly over. So at the top there, it will have some drawdown before it like consider it, okay, now it's over. So buying after, let's say, 50% run up in the Bitcoin price, that's probably not a good idea. The best would be to buy during sideways market or during like temporary dips in an uptrend.
Okay,
And
that
like
makes sense.
something,
That makes sense. Yeah, of course.
something
Crack on.
that people should know is that the settings to like copy, like it's important that they replicate the same settings we have. So obviously, guys, I guess you shared it already, but so right now most of these trades are like roughly 7 times leverage. So if you do like you add your own leverage on top, you're trading at 14, 21%, 21 times leverage. So it's important, same risk, same strategy to follow it to avoid these unnecessary risks. You know?
Yeah, it is called smart copy on BloFin, and that's what you should use. If you use anything else than that, the results will be totally different. And yeah, so
Yeah, of
so
course.
those settings are developed for maximizing, yeah, for giving like 25-30% drawdown max and having an ROI above 100% per year.
Yeah, of course. We have Deck joining us as well, so I'm going to add Deck in. There we go. Deck, you are
Hello.
live.
Hello. All good? Is the audio all good? Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the point I was wanting to cover, I think you mentioned a bit, Mark, but was that the bot managed to perform and profit during the worst time in global markets in since 2020. So when everyone was getting mass liquidated, the bot did take some small losses in there. But if you look on the copy trading space, everyone gets liquidated in that 100% loss. Like when we were in Quantoshi during the biggest liquidations in the stock market history, and we were taking losses of 10, 20%. So to keep capital during the worst liquidations in history in terms of volume, to only lose 20% when everyone else is losing 100%, and then to close out the week or close out the month in profit, that is when we gained more confidence and we invested more money, because if it can survive the worst time in history for liquidations, then that gave us more confidence. Also, as well, we've experimented with copy trading in the past 2 years ago, and one thing we noticed is that they use insane leverage. So I think Elias, you were mentioning that they aim for the leaderboard to try and get everyone on board with fancy numbers on the leaderboard, 1,000%, so that people copy them. But those quick gains become 100% loss the next week. So this is totally different from what we've experimented in the past. It only uses 7x leverage. These other ones used 50 or 100x leverage, and that's why you just get liquidated and you lose all your funds. So this Quantoshi is much smaller position sizes, and also it's much smaller leverage as well. So this is why when we experimented in the past, we used 5K and we lost 5K within a week. With Quantoshi, we experimented 5K. We seen how it worked during the worst ever liquidations, and we gained more confidence. And then we topped up to 10K, and we've seen how it worked. We've seen the position sizes. We gained more confidence, and now we're up to 20K. So yeah, this started out as an experiment, and it's something that we have been following. Like we can see the trades every day, and we just gain more and more confidence. And yeah, it's a hedge against your portfolio, like Mark said, to have something that when the market is down 50%, but you're still able to make 10% a month, it's just hedging. So to make you feel better, if you're in spot and you're down really bad, at least you're making some yield every month. That's kind of why we introduced it in the first place.
Yeah, I've got a question, guys. Just again, thinking from our audience, would you recommend? So, say I get to 20K and I've got 20K following it like we do. Would you recommend scraping some profit out and keeping the balance at 20K, or constantly just letting it run higher and higher? What would your kind of feeling on that be?
I think that you should let it run. But I don't think you should take out money while it's in a trade. So I think once it's like out of it, if you ever want to take money out, do it when it's not in a position, because I don't really know what will happen with the risk then if you take out while you're in. in a position, it might actually increase the risk on your account, and then you're not really replicating us. So I would say wait for the bot to be out of position. If you need the money, then you can take out, but there is no known market condition where you shouldn't keep the money in the bot unless you can know for sure exactly when the bear market will start. Then that's very good skill to have, and then you should probably your money. Yeah. But even in the bear market, we make money, but it's only at the turning point that we might lose.
I think Mark wanted to know as well, like, for the followers, like after a much ROI, maybe I should take a bit of out of the capital. I think it's a personal preference.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I put, I mean, I'm thinking out loud, but if I put 20 grand in and I'm making 2 grand a month, that's a wage for somebody. So I might want to take that 2K out every single month. A lot of members would want to do that. So, but you've hit the nail on the head. You've answered the question in a different way, is that wait until all positions are closed. There's no risk on the table. And that would be when you would remove the 2K. Don't do maybe like $500 after week one, and don't interrupt the positions. I think that's a key message. I've saw people before say, oh, we're in the red. Should I close some positions? But the reason you're following a bot or an algorithm is to let it do its job. So just leave it, set and forget. It'll take care of the rest.
It's like vacuuming behind a robot that vacuums, you know. It doesn't make sense. Just let it do it.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I think our members, I've had some questions in the past. I think right now it's a perfect time as well. The market is obviously traded sideways. We look like we could be on the verge of a breakout. We've saw some trades today take place, on that retracement, which I guess is a healthy time to get in. But yeah, is there anything else any insights that you could give us?
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's worth saying as well what's coming for Quantoshi and how we are going to improve your guys' algo even further. I mean, so as you know, our mission is to democratize algo trading. So like giving everyday investors the best algos. And as we are growing and we're getting close to 1 million in asset under management, since like we have opened the floodgates to copy trading with you and a few other KOLs. So we started to speak with many algo providers. So there's from the guy in Vietnam that's been trading altcoins, the guy that depending on Bitcoin does something on altcoins, like to the guys that do delta neutral. So we have disaggregated knowledge of 10 algo partners, and we are sharing alpha between ourselves. And this has helped a lot, us and them too. And our objective is to be able to mix these strategies as well, even further, to edge our strategies and as well expand the ROI all the time. So this is having that ability of visibility on other strategies. And why we have access to that is because obviously we help them access as well the family office side of things. So our strategies will get even better as we go forward, thanks to this alpha that we share. And I think it's a really important point there. And as we're going to start like dynamically combine these multiple strategies and shift between them, depending on real-time market behavior, we're going to be able to expand these. And so one of the things maybe we can say as well is on the smart edging features, SIG, on the shorting side of things. That could be as well.
Yeah, so we have this system that's based on 9 years of trading, 3 years of forward testing, and we know the flaws of the system, even though it's pretty good as you see how it dealt with the current market conditions. But we still know how to improve it. We will not change it upside down. We will keep it more or less exactly as it is, but we are working on ways to counter trade ourselves or combine it with other algos that we can see based on historical data that it would have resulted in less drawdowns. For example, an ETH or Solana shorting algo that triggers at the right point in time would be insanely good in combination with what we have. So we are looking at those things and are looking at building also our own content trading logic.
An Ethereum shorten algo would be an infinite money glitch.
I agree with that. But yeah, in order to just reduce the drawdowns, I would be happy. But yeah, it's not going well for Ethereum for sure.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, I think is there any other things, Mark? There was some questions in the chat about settings. So it was in the settings, should it be copy traders margin mode and copy traders leverage in the advanced setting and leave the take profit and stop loss unchecked?
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And
I think the biggest message is, as well, is just let the bot do its thing. I think people, especially in crypto, they're too eager to manipulate things or get involved or touch things. Just set it, forget it, go back to it in a month, check in on it then.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've got.
I think maybe one thing to mention now, we talked a little bit about it, but there are some indications that the next leg up could be soon, and the price is in that area. I have no idea when the algo will like flip from gridbot sideways gridbot trading to trend trading, and once it flips to trend, it basically stays in the position for until the trend is over. So if that happens in the next couple of days, anyone entering after that will not enter into that position. So that could be a reason to do this fairly quickly. And if it doesn't happen that soon, we are still in the sideways market. Yeah, but it will be a little bit sad if you see the price run and then we enter the trade and we just stay in the trade, because the trading style is very different for our bot during uptrends. We are not going in and out all the time. We are staying in the position. So basically, that's when you can kind of miss the big move if you're not in the bot.
Yeah, that's important. Even just to go back over that, because like now, how it works in Quantoshi is every day there could be multiple trades, sometimes really short, sometimes a few hours, but there could be multiple constantly. But as Sig's saying there, is that when the trend changes, the algo changes, and it stays in a position for longer. So if the trend is to change now, we break out from here, we go up 93, 94, 95, 100K, the position will stay open. So yeah, if you're going to get involved, it's best to get involved before the breakout happens, essentially. So yeah, we don't know. We could break out tonight, we could break out in weeks' time or months' time. We don't know that. So if you do want involved, it's best to get involved before the breakout, essentially.
I think as well, there's two important aspects that I want to bring up. One, it's completely a program. So it's not like you sitting up at 5 a.m. looking to take trades or forcing trades. Because I think when you are a trader, that is sitting on your hands as a trader is one of the worst feelings in the world. Is if you're a constant trader and there's no trades, you end up forcing a trade just to take a trade. Happens all the time. Every trader in the world knows what I'm talking about. So I think that should give people confidence, is that this isn't some person that gets impatient and then just takes a trade because they feel they have to, because they've got an audience. It's completely programmable. I think the second point is we talk a lot in CC Pro about this sell in May and go away, sideways summer, boring summer. Happens nearly every year. The summer months are dreadful. There's no liquidity in the markets. It's boring. People take time off. They go on holiday. Well, this year, there's something different because you could still be making money. You could be lying on the beach. The market's doing nothing. Bitcoin's just going sideways. Ethereum's going sideways. Your alt bags are doing absolutely nothing. But you can have Quantoshi earning you daily passive income. So I think that's it's nice timing. It's great, but it's also a nice feature just to have.
I agree.
Yes.
It's good having something additional that can, just give you some yield, because in a sideways market, your portfolio is doing nothing. Your spot bags are doing nothing. So just having another opportunity where you can just make some yield, just to feel some profit. Yeah, that's why we were looking for this opportunity initially, and yeah, we're on board.
And I can share something too here. Like, we have been growing a lot since the start of the year across both, let's say, the copy chain and the family office side of things. And you guys can obviously visit our site. There is like different forms there. I try to reply to everyone in less than 24 hours. So as well, we are available directly for questions you might have. We are doing as well a small raise in a token 2049 in Dubai. So if some of your followers happen to be there and they maybe want to consider an equity investment, they can hit us up. Not necessary. We're doing quite good already, but it's an opportunity. So
yeah.
just want to
So
share.
yeah, the token 2049 is in Dubai, and Quantoshi will be there. And yeah, they're doing a equity raise because this is early days in Quantoshi. So yeah, they're doing a equity raise and looking to scale Quantoshi essentially. So if there's any high net investors watching this and Quantoshi is something you'd be interested in, check out the website. And if you're based in Dubai, yeah, go have a chat at Token 2049. Meet the team. That's the good thing as well. Like, we met the team at Quantoshi on BitGet copy trading we done years ago. It's just a profile name, and they just take crazy positions. Yeah, Quantoshi, you can go speak to them at Token 2049 and yeah, ask any questions you might be interested in investing in the company. Because yeah, the way things are going now, and just being able to profit when the market is not always making profit, like on spot, because most people hold spot. It's just it's a good business idea. And yeah, so if you're interested in investing in Quantoshi itself, the company, yeah, the website's there. You can reach out and see.
Happy
But yeah,
to
I'm
chat.
sure the
Yeah.
equity raise closes soon. Is it next month?
I mean, we are like already to a point that we are almost good. So at token 2049, we will close, let's say, the soft cap. And maybe after token 2049, we will do another small raise if there is a lot of interest. But at the moment, yeah, we will wrap up by token 2049, most likely, the raise.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Perfect. I think as well, you guys being on camera, coming on, doing a live stream with our entire audience, I think that should give people a bit more confidence as well. Because like Deck says, a lot of these traders, you know, they hide behind profiles, they burn a profile and they just go and create another one. So it's great to have you guys on. It'd be quite nice to maybe follow up in a few months as well and have a bit more data to look at. And then obviously we'll have the 20K account that we can show. But it might be quite nice to just follow the journey, and maybe every quarter we get on and we review the results with our audience. We'll have more members that probably are following by then. And yeah, hopefully we see some upturn in the market as well, because those 350% gains sound quite tasty as well.
Yeah, it will probably be a little bit less now with adjusted risk, but still it should be nice.
To be honest, I think the biggest benefit is the low risk passive income. That is literally the goal in life. Anyone following this knows this. We speak about it all the time. Having that low risk yield that just comes out of your bank, that's exactly what everybody should aim for in life. So yeah, I think it's great feature. I think what you guys are doing is brilliant as well.
Also, as well, with it being it's so easy and so streamlined, like you just go on BloFin, click copy, and it's done. The profit split, because of course Quantoshi has to make money, so there is a profit split. Quantoshi gets 20% of the profits. All of that is calculated instantly, and yeah, it's all streamlined. any profit that you get in your BloFin account, you get to keep essentially. So it's an easy, streamlined process, which makes it better as well.
Yeah, it's all managed by the BloFin platform. So yeah, the profit share is 20%. And yeah, just copy and it's automated and that's it. What normally is, let's say that to deposit within copy trading on BloFin, the main coin is USDT that it's used. So
Yeah, definitely.
just to say share it so people know.
Yeah, the instructions are down in the comments. So if there's anybody wanting to join Quantoshi, it's down in the comments below. Or if you just want to watch what happens with our 20k, you can also do that on BloFin. So just search Quantoshi CC Steady and you can follow the journey publicly. You can watch it for a month before you decide, or you can watch it as long as you want. Anything that happens, any trades that are taken, you can see it publicly. So yeah, it's all there to see.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and anyone in CC Pro, obviously, you've got access to us anytime to answer any questions or help you get set up. But no, guys, thanks very much for giving up your time. We really appreciate it. I think our audience really appreciates it as well. And it was really interesting to hear about your background, where it came from, and also just hear from, you know, the creators, the people that operate it every single day, how easy and how risk-free it is as well.
Thank you guys for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great to work with you.
No, definitely. Thanks very much. Everybody watching, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. We've got loads more streams like this, and we'll obviously keep in touch with the Quantoshi team and have them back on a stream very soon.
Great.
And Deck, thanks for joining us.
See you later.
Thank you.
See you all soon. Thank you.